Hello everybody and welcome to Extra Bits. So what's more difficult than stopping Nazis from obtaining the Ark of the Covenant, recovering 5 Centaurus stones and freeing child slaves from a bloodthirsty high priest, or even recovering the Holy Grail and saving your father from even more Nazis? If you guessed beating Spelunky, you're correct. 50 points to you. The creator of Spelunky, Derek Yu, must have been hating the world when he made the original Spelunky in 2008. It was such a popular hit that he added even more rage, death, and despair when he released it in HD in 2012. This game will make you hate everything and enrage you to no end, but you'll keep coming back for more because it's damn fun. So just what is Spelunky? What we do know is that it's a game about a treasure hunter and a cave. Very little background info is given about your character, the cave, the NPCs, and everything else. The cave is divided into 5 sections, each one getting progressively more challenging. There's the mines, an underground jungle, the ice caves, a temple, and finally, hell. Along the way you collect ropes and bombs, gather money, find items, and rescue damsels. The enemies you can fight are bats, snakes, yetis, aliens, mummies, skeletons, zombies, cavemen, overpowered frogs, man-eating plants, and angry shopkeepers, and a whole lot more. Throw in some mini bosses like an alien queen, a giant piranha, and a yeti king. Seriously, someone call Kenny Loggins because we've entered the danger zone. At first glance, the game makes no sense. For example, who sets up a shop and a cave when you can't leave? What are the shopkeepers going to spend money on? But let's see if we can make some sense of it. According to the intro, you march into a cave from the desert. After climbing down a rope, you find a giant locked door in Yang's journal. In it, he describes his perilous journey, the fact that there's a giant treasure at the end, and he also mentions that the cave keeps resurrecting him even though he keeps dying. At the end of his journal, he tells you that he's reached the jungle levels, then he stops writing. He leaves behind a key to unlock the door, and from then on, you're on your own. When you reach the end after defeating the true boss, you find Yang just hanging out. He opens a giant treasure chest, revealing the treasure. Both of you hop on a platform and are shot out of a volcano. After landing, you both voyage off into the desert with 2 trained cavemen carrying your giant treasure. Different characters are floating by on hot air balloons, and all the while a seemingly endless supply of fireworks are being shot off in the distance. See what I mean by not a lot of story? So let's dig deeper. The first boss you fight is Olmec. Olmec is based on the colossal heads from the first major civilization that lived in south central Mexico from about 1500 BCE to 400 BCE. The heads are thought to be individual rulers of the Olmec people due to the fact that each statue has a different headdress on it. There's a secret level in the game where you find the City of Gold, which is based off of several myths including Cibola and El Dorado. During your adventure, you may come across a Moai head, a giant stone statue carved by the Polynesian people of Easter Island. A mini-boss you fight is Anubis, who comes from the Egyptian mythology and is also the keeper of the dead. Assuming Yang isn't a racist stereotype, we could assume that something or someone is Yin, leading us to Chinese philosophy. One could conclude that this happens during the ending sequence when Yang reveals he had an epiphany. He discovers the journey to get the treasure is just as important as the treasure itself. Above the cave door at the beginning, there's an Ouroboros, which tells us the cyclical nature of life and death in the cave. This symbol is seen in prominently Greek mythology and Egyptian mythology. Finally, the second and true boss is Yama, the god of death and keeper of the underworld. He and Kali, the goddess of life and death, who also plays a major role in the game, come from the Hindu and Buddhist religions. Altars to Kali are spread throughout the game, and by sacrificing enemies and NPCs you can gain her favor. So what does this all mean? After gathering all this evidence, we still can't really conclude anything. We can draw similarities between your character and the Temple of Doom. In the movie, the cult worships Kali with human sacrifice, which is what your character can do in the game. There's also crystal skulls and golden idols, both of which are found in Indiana Jones movies, and our hero happens to hate snakes. There's also several Evil Dead references, like the Ash Tombstone on the graveyard level, and the Necronomicon looks exactly like the Necronomicon in the Evil Dead. The lady damsel happens to look like a combination of Princess Peach and Pauline. She's either helpless, panicked, unconscious, or dead the whole game. I mean, really, all you have to do is add kidnapped and Mario suddenly would appear. The bottom line, this game is all kinds of nonsense, the story is jumbled, the setting has no coherency, and the characters are bland. But what it lacks in extra bits, it more than makes up for in awesome gameplay and great music. I say play to your heart's content, just be prepared to die. If you enjoy this episode, don't forget to give it a like and let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.